Hello everyone, my name is Kunwar Vikrant Singh and I'm Solutions Consultant for Adobe Experience Manager Guide. In the session today on Translation Management, we are going to explore how Adobe Experience Manager Guides streamlines multilingual content management. Here is what we are going to cover in the session today. We are going to talk about some of the challenges in translations. Then we are going to talk about translation management available in AEM Guides. As a part of this session, we are also going to see AEM Guides in action, where we'll see how translations work in AEM Guides. Towards the end of this session, we are going to talk about some of the benefits and the value proposition of AEM Guides. Let's start with the translations. Translations are very important from a global organization point of view. As an organization, you need to deliver your products and services all over the world. You need to quickly translate your content into multiple languages, sometimes to meet legal requirements, sometimes to effectively communicate with your customers to satisfy their needs. But translations comes with its own challenges. One of the key challenge which organization faces is on the high translation cost, where inefficient content reuse increase translation cost. Not only that, if the translations are manual, it becomes a task in itself to track the translation progress and status. Even sometimes the data conversion between the authoring and the translation format is also time consuming, which again causes lots of inefficiencies. These are some of the challenges from a translation point of view. Now let's talk about some of the objectives which organizations have behind having a robust translation management system. One of the key objectives is, of course, to maximize efficiency in translation for better time to market and budget management, improving the time it takes to manage and publish translated content. To achieve all these objectives, let's talk about AEM Guides. Now, you might have already seen some sessions with respect to AEM Guides, so I'm not going to go in the details of AEM Guides. AEM Guides is a cloud-native component content management system, which empowers documentation and content professionals to manage the entire content lifecycle. Be it product documentation, be it self-service help, user guide, knowledge bases, support content, sometimes policies, procedures, and whatnot. All these different kinds of content could be produced, managed, reviewed, and finally published in one single platform, which is Adobe Experience Manager Guides. AEM Guides has its own translation management system, where it integrates with the leading translation vendors, using built-in connectors for automated translation workflows. It also has a dashboard to identify untranslated and out-of-the-sync content, where instead of sending the entire document for translation, you will be able to send only the recently updated part of the entire document. Consider it as a topic. The users will also be able to filter content that needs translation using the baseline or maybe a date stamp. So this is about the translation management within AEM Guides. Now let's see AEM Guides in action. In the demonstration today, I'm going to consider a persona, Samantha, who is a translation manager, and we are going to see how Samantha as a translation manager is going to leverage AEM Guides for the translations. Now, Samantha receives a document, a completed document, which is a map, a data map, which she needs to translate. Samantha opens the data map within AEM Guides. Once she opens the data map within AEM Guide, now AEM Guide is going to help Samantha to find out whether this data map is required to be translated entirely, or maybe there is only a few updates that has happened and only a particular topic within that data map is going to be needing a translation. And we are going to see how system is going to help Samantha for that. Whenever Samantha is going to initiate this translation, AEM Guides create the target language copies automatically. So if you need a translation in, let's say, 3 languages which are German, Spanish, and maybe French, the moment you initiate that translation, those language folders and copies would be automatically created. Samantha is also going to get the choice what kind of translation she would be doing in this case. If she wants to go with a machine-based translation, she would be able to do so. In case she wants to maybe utilize some integration with the CAT system, she would also be able to do so. Or in case in this document needs to be translated through external agencies, we are also going to see how she is going to import or export the packages and get it translated from an external agency as well. In the course of this demonstration, we are also going to see how Samantha is going to get the real-time statuses of the translation using the dashboard. With that, let me quickly move on to the demonstrations. Now let's see how Samantha is going to interact with the AEM guides to initiate this translation. She goes into the English folder and opens a map which is now available for the translation. The moment she opens up, if you see here, it is consist of many topics, and in case she quickly wants to see the overall preview, she would be able to see the entire text here. Now this map, of course, right now you're able to see that this is consists of many topics. If this document needs to be translated, Samantha is going to go into the Manage tab. The moment she goes into the Manage tab, she's going to get all the languages which are available for the translation at this point of time. Of course, this is a configurable right now for this demonstration. I have just configured 3 languages. This document needs to be translated in all 3 languages. So she's going to select all and press apply here. The moment she presses apply, the all topics available within this document would be available to, which would be shown to her. She quickly selects all, and then she is going to initiate the translation. Now there are multiple ways in which Samantha is going to initiate this translation. By default, I have set the translations to be machine-based translation. So by default, if I create a translation project, it is going to be the machine-based translation. But in addition to that, if you see here, you are also able to see create new XLIF translation project. This is precisely for sending the translation to external agencies. And then you, of course, are also able to see some more options here. For example, add to an existing translation project in case this is part of a larger translation project, right? And you are just adding this document to that project. So that is also a possibility. Right now, I'm keeping it simple. What I'm going to do is I'm going to initiate this translation using a new project. I give it some name, which is 2024 and then _1. So this is the project which I'm going to initiate. All translations within AEM Guides are done with the help of a project within AEM. I quickly press here submit, and the translations have been now submitted to the machine translation service that is currently integrated with this platform. This way, Samantha is going to initiate the translation. And for this first pass, I have assumed that this document is being translated for the first time. That's why all topics needs to be translated. What happens? So basically, translations may take some time. Of course, based on the choice, if it is a machine-based translation, it's going to be instant. If it is a CAT-based translation, based on how the translation vendors are working, it may take some time. Currently, once again, for saving some time, I am assuming that the translation has been already done. So in that case, if Samantha maybe goes ahead and click on this apply, once again, this entire set of topics within this map would be listed. And if she's going to see the translation status, this is going to be in sync, which basically signifies that this translation has already completed. And how exactly Samantha is going to see those documents? So in case Samantha is going to go to the English folder, she is able to see those additional languages folder which are also available here, which are in German, then maybe Spanish, and in French. So all these different folders along with translated documents would be automatically created. And after that, of course, if Samantha needs, she would be able to initiate the review process on these translated documents as well, just to make sure that there is a human in the loop in this entire process. So this is how a machine-based translations are initiated. Now let's go and consider another scenario. This is for the translation which might needs to be done for the second time. Let's assume that a topic within this map, which is intended use, it needs to be it is basically has updated in the next pass. So let me quickly go ahead and maybe update this. So author is going to update this document. This document would undergo the review process. Once it is approved, once again, Samantha is going to get this document for the translation. Now let's see how AEM Guides now help Samantha to identify what exactly has changed. Once again, she sees the map here. She receives the map, opens the map, which is available here. Once again, she goes into a Manage tab and she presses Apply here. The moment she presses Apply, now if I go ahead and see the translation status, it is basically showing Samantha that this particular topic is out of sync. Because of course, I mean, the copies in French, German and Spanish, which are the translated copies, these are going to be shown in out of sync, as the base document, the base topic, which was in English, it has changed. Now, instead of Samantha sending this entire set of document or entire set of topics for the translation, now she would be able to get only the topics which have been changed, and then she would be able to initiate the translation on selective topics. This is how AEM Guides is going to help Samantha in finding the exact topic that has changed, instead of she manually going there or maybe sending the entire document for the translation. This is how the efficiency of the translation management within AEM Guides helps Samantha to save lots of cost with respect to translation. So this is how the machine-based translation works in AEM Guides. Now let's also consider how a manual translation, where this document needs to be translated by an external agency, is going to work within AEM Guides. Let me quickly go ahead and just remove this filter, go back to the author, and let's start this process once again. Now in this scenario, Samantha needs to get this document translated, but instead of using any machine translation services or using any CAT tool, this time she wants to utilize an external translation agencies. What she would be able to do is, once again, she's going to go into the Manage. She's going to select all translations that are required. I'm assuming once again this document is being sent into a translation for the first time. She selects all topics that are necessary. And in this case, once again, the moment she press Send for translation, there are certain options here. One of the options could be the system could be set by default in case somebody create a new translation. Instead of machine learning, it could be a human translation, which could be triggered in this case. In case you want to create XLIF format, that could also be there. Right? Moment she initiate this human translation, the translation project would automatically be created. And now let's see how she is going to utilize the translation project to import and export the packages which could be sent for external translation. Important thing to note here is the packages which she is going to send, that could be in XLIF format or that could be in data format. Both ways are supported. Now let's move on to one of the project view which she has created. Assuming that right now she is sending this document for manual translation, by default the project gets created, and this is how that particular project is going to look like. If you see here, language here is German, so I'm just taking German as an example. Method is human translation. This is what this job is, and in case he goes here and open the option, she is going to see the export option here. If she presses on export, it's going to create a package. Now this package could be a XLIF format package, or this could be in data format. She quickly go ahead and create this package here. Now this particular package could be shared with the external agencies, and if I see inside this package, she will be able to see that this is currently in data format, where all these different topics along with the map and the translation export summary is available. The translation vendor external agency, they would be able to utilize this zip package in either with the help of certain machine system in case they have, or maybe manual. They would be able to translate this entire document. They are going to zip it once again and send it back. After that, Samantha is going to perform just one simple step. Once again, repeating myself, that for the first time, the package has been exported. It has been sent to external agencies. They have worked upon on this particular package, and the moment Samantha is going to get back that package, she just needs to go inside this menu once again, and this time she is going to import this entire package which has been received by her. And whatever translations the vendor has done, the external agency has done, the moment she uploads here and approve these changes, of course by going into all these topics which are there, so she would be able to go and see all these translation document which are available. Once she does that, automatically all these language folders would automatically be populated with the translated document. So even in case it is an external translation, then only the process is so simple. It is as simple as she needs to just export this file, get the translated GIF back, and after that, once again, import this back into the system, and rest of the bookkeeping, AEM Guides robust translation management is going to take care. Now let's quickly summarize what we have seen so far and how AEM Guides is going to add value. AEM Guides leverage automated translations, which we have seen, where AEM Guide has out-of-the-box integration with the machine translation services and third-party translation management system as well. In case some organization need to have a human translation, maybe with the help of external agencies, that is also supported with the help of import and export of various kinds of formats. We have also seen in this demonstration that how AEM Guides efficiently tracks changes in the source language and sends only the change since last translation to the Steam to streamline the entire process and avoid costly retranslations. Intended reuse was one of the topic which we have seen in the demonstration, which was change, and when Samantha was reinitiating the translation, that was the only topic which was shown as out of the sync, so that Samantha is going to identify and basically send out only that part. We have also seen that how AEM Guide minimize the time spent on creating export and import packages, which essentially reduce human errors. As simple as that, the package was exported, and after receiving the translated package, just with importing it back and approving the changes, the entire document was available in the translated folders. We have also seen the dashboard, where we have seen that how the different documents, the overall process, whether document has been translated, whether it has been in sync, out of the sync, or in translations, different statuses were available on within the dashboard. It basically helped translation managers to identify bottleneck and get the real-time status. This is specifically helpful in case somebody is using a third-party translation vendors, the integrated translation vendors, where the translations are happening on different system, and the moment translations are done, the system here within the dashboard automatically updates the status. Now, this is what we wanted to cover in the session today. Please feel free if you have any questions or any queries around this topic. Thank you so much. I hope you have found the session helpful and insightful.